Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So today, I know it's been a while, but whatever, you guys know how it is. Anyway, I wanted to do a video, kind of like a synopsis on the Real Housewives of Potomac Reunion Show Part 1. Let me get my notes, y'all. So the first thing I want to talk about is out the back. Andy Cohen, he was like, he came out blazing, y'all. I mean, the very first thing he wanted to get out on the table was the Reasonably Shady podcast. I actually saw that episode of Watch What Happens with Andy. Was it last week? No, week before last. Last week was Super Bowl. But he was very upset with Robyn. You could just tell. I mean, it wasn't like an overt thing, but he could barely contain himself, how frustrated and irritated he was with Robyn Dixon. Mostly because she just left out on her show, on the Housewives show, what was going on with Juan and his mistress. She talked it up as, well, this is just something that I just choose not to talk about. And her arrogance and this little air she has about her, I just really don't like it. I don't like Robyn, period. But this just kind of put me over the top with her. Anyway, he let it be made known to us, the viewers. I didn't know this, but they have a Patreon set up, and she was going to give more details about what happened. But we already know the little sad, silly story that she's going around telling everybody about her and her husband. Well, Juan Dixon, her husband, which she just recently remarried, I think it was like this past fall, August or October, something like that. They've been divorced. He was an NBA player. They were married for some time, but they got divorced, and then they started living together like husband and wife because they had children, but they really weren't married. This has happened for like 7 years. They've been living this way. Anyway, he was allegedly had an affair with some woman over COVID because Robyn found a hotel receipt that he signed for it. She says that the woman DM'd her about it, but Juan told her the story of, oh, she came out here to see a Baltimore Ravens player that she's dating. And she was at the casino and lost her wallet, or someone stole her wallet and she couldn't pay for a hotel room. Excuse me. You're dating a Ravens player and you don't know how to get a hold of this man to pay for your hotel room whom you came to see? Okay, Robyn. And I think it was Tamar Braxton was really annoyed. She was like, listen, if you just want to say I choose to overlook this because we been through too much together, just say that. Don't make everybody out to be like they stupid. So anyway, Andy Cohen is very irritated that Robyn is choosing to share her story with her Patreon viewers instead of airing it out on Bravo, which she should be very worried, because we know what happens when you cross Andy, and when he just doesn't like you anymore, you're pretty much done. Nene Leakes, Monique Samuels, they're gone. I remember on the last time Monique was on Andy's reunion show, he was like asking, did she feel any kind of regret for how she beat up Candace? And she was like, no, I don't. But y'all, Candace got a mouth. We saw that tonight. I'm gonna get back to that. Not saying she deserved to get beat up. She doesn't, because that level of violence does not belong on the Potomac Housewives. I'm sorry, it just doesn't. That maybe Love and Hip Hop, but not Housewives of Potomac. Monique, way too ratchet. I don't like her one single bit. Okay. Okay, so the first person they got to was Miss Ashley, which surprised me that Ashley was first on the lineup because, oh, before I get to that, did anybody catch Karen yawning when they were talking about Juan and Robyn's nuptials? I'm with her. I don't believe it. I don't know why they got married, but knowing Robyn, she seems to be a very vindictive, evil person. I think that she probably like forced him to marry her. Who knows what kind of a hold she has over him. I don't know if it's some kind of financial hold or it's something she has over him that he has to give her what she wants, because that man does not want to get married. Michael Darby said that Juan's not getting married. And I'm pretty sure when this story with this woman came out, she was like, marry me or what we have going on is over and I'm getting child support. I don't know, but she has something on him. Anyway, the seating was totally off to me. They were saying that Andy said it was production. He has some kind of say in it, but not all of it. And the main goal is to get everybody sitting together who likes each other, but that's not what I saw. Me personally, I would have thought Candace, Karen, and Dr. Wendy. I think they should have been sitting together. And then maybe Mia, Giselle, of course, and Robyn, and who else? Giselle should have been sitting together. So anyway, back to Ashley. So they brought up her boo Luke, this ex-hockey player turned model. They started to talk about the boundaries that she has with Michael, which are pretty much non-existent. Everybody told this woman not to buy a house with her ex-husband. Oh, we're just gonna get out under the LLC. Her uncle, her mom. Her mom's expression is priceless on that phone when she's FaceTiming her mom. And her attorney, of all people, all three of these people was like, don't do it. Do not buy a house with your husband, your ex-husband that you're separated with. Well, it's under the LLC. So, see, what gets me about Ashley, she wants to portray this image that, when she first came on the show, that she was this kept wife. Karen was really impressed by her because even though she had this older husband, which I think Karen could relate to that because she and Ray have this huge age difference as well. But I do remember the very first season Ashley was introduced, her husband bought her a Porsche for her birthday. And Karen was really impressed with that and was like, okay, you bought her a Porsche, all right, So she's always maintained this image of being the kept wife. But for me, I just didn't get that. I never got that from Ashley. I felt it was all fake. I think it's all show. I think that this was another Portia Stewart, Cordell Stewart. Who's the other girl? Fallon and Simon. Whatever his last name is, Portia Williams' new husband. I think it's one of those situations where you have this ridiculously rich man. You get the residuals from being with him, but you will never have access to the money. You will never have access to the bank account. You'll get money. You'll probably get a little allowance or something, some little mommy money once you have babies, but I don't think you have access to that stuff. And Ashley let it be made known tonight. She don't even know what he has. So... But anyway, yeah, I noticed that they always lived in that penthouse. Okay, like, listen to me, just hear me out. I know they live in Arlington, Virginia, and I can only imagine how expensive that penthouse cost. But once she got pregnant, I noticed that they definitely changed her car. She had like a little cute little Audi SUV, which I can definitely see him buying that for his wife. But I always wonder, why didn't they have a house? Their living room is like a toy explosion. And me personally, it didn't even seem like he was living there. It just did not feel like Michael was living there. I'm talking about before the separation. I'm like, why? Because he seems to be the type of person that would be like, okay, you're pregnant, let's buy a house. He's a real estate man. Why are y'all living in this? It's probably at best a 2-bedroom penthouse. They've been living there since she got on the show. And who knows how long they've been living there. But I never got the feeling that she had any real money attached to him outside of what she's making on Real Housewives. And he's going to keep it that way. Because, like, even prenup or not, she wouldn't be able to get any alimony because she works. She knows how to make money. So, even though she has the kids... it's just going to show she knows how to make money. So anyway, she signed this ironclad prenup. Whatever she signed, whatever verbiage, like I think one of the ladies said there was a lot of fluff in it, obviously, to mask the fact that she gets nothing. Like, she gets no alimony because now she will get spousal support if she ever falls on hard times. I thought spousal support and alimony was the same thing, but apparently not. That's what Dr. Wendy kind of clarified that for me. But she gets nothing in the event of a divorce, which they are going through. I think she says she can actually file in February, which is now, because in the state of Virginia, that's where I live, you have to be separated for 12 months. And yeah, so she gets nothing. I mean, she gets child support. And they were all kind of like, you know how they kind of talk amongst themselves on the couch. They were like, she needs to have another baby. And it was so funny because Candace was like, you were one of the ones that berated me about living in a house that my mom's generational wealth paid for. I was like, get up, girl. She was like, yes, that was generational wealth. And you're not getting anything from your children. And I was just like, she was like, you can't even pay for your own house. She said, the house that you have now, can you get it without Michael's money? No. And then Ashley goes on to say, well, by the time my kids are through, they're going to buy their own house. Ashley, you don't know that. You do not know that. Mia made a very good point, and she was saying that, and I agree 100,000% of what Mia's saying. How you get your husband is the same way you keep him. Know the backstory between these two if you don't already know, or if you're like just now new to to watching the show and just caught it in the end. Michael and Ashley had this dynamic to where they were this fun couple. He calls her Darby's Barbie. She's this cute little fun-loving, cute girl, young, tight little body, So for an old rich man like that, that's what he can get. But Michael's been around the block before. He's been married. He has adult children. So he knows the game. When the first show came on, she started wanting to have children. And he had already told her verbatim, his words, not mine, I do not want children because once you have children, the priority is going to shift from me to them. And I've already been there. I don't want to do that anymore. This is my time to live and to have fun. But the problem with Michael is he got her so young. So young. And I do believe she was like 23 at the time. He got her so young. Yeah, her priorities are going to shift. So they used to have these little fun nights where they would pick up a cute woman at the bar or at the club, and they would have these threesomes and all this kind of stuff. Well, she had a baby. Now Michael's going out. He's been caught cheating several times. For whatever reason, they had another baby. And before she got pregnant with baby number 2, they had a sit down at a restaurant, and I was so proud of her how she stood up for herself. But that just shows you right there, I don't think Michael truly loves her as a wife, as a mom, as he should. But they're sitting at this table, and she presents him with the evidence and a receipt, and she says, okay, no more threesomes, that's over. I was like, oh, look at Ashley. I was really proud of her. She went from that strong, confident woman to now we're buying an LLC, and we're buying a house in an LLC's name. It's like, why would you do that? And wasn't there a couple of seasons back she did a post-nup agreement that was supposed to benefit her? I don't think he signed it because nothing ever came from that episode. Anyway, back to the business at hand. So one thing what I don't even think she realizes about an LLC, what if she's like 20% owner and he's 80%? So that means when they divorce, oh, this is the LLC house. This is my business. She's not getting, there is no way to track how much money he has because everything, so according to him, all the money that's tied up in all these investments was money acquired before the marriage. So any proceeds from all that go straight to him. She doesn't get a dime of that money. And so one of the ladies asked, okay, it was Karen. She says, okay, so aside from his initial investments that he made before the marriage, what did he make during the marriage? I don't know. Which proves my theory that woman don't have no access to the money. Mia. I'm going to have to make a part 2, y'all. This is going to be long. Okay, so I got a little sidetracked. The point I was trying to make about Ashley Darby is I think she liked having the appearance of being the kept wife. And now she wants to look like the kept ex-wife. Like, girl, we're not even married. And he pays my bills. He bought my house. And he's giving me this, that, and the third. She wants that appearance. But it's anything but that. You know what I mean? So she just needs to go ahead and stop with the okie doke and just be real. Girl, the gig is up. We already see this man is not about to keep you. Now, I'm pretty sure she'll do good on her own with child support and stuff, but a shark like Michael, I don't even think she's gonna get that much in child support, to be honest with you. Like, let's be real. Chris Brown baby mom, what, she's getting like $1,200 a month. Men like that know how to protect their assets. And I do believe in his mind, it's going to be like, if you can't take care of them, I will. I do believe he will go after custody if she tries to go after his money, but I think he's going to show just enough to give her enough so that she cannot live off of his child support. He's going to give her enough so that those two boys are taken care of. I think that he's probably going to give her, mark my word, guys, I can see him. They got 2 kids. No more than 2,400. And that 2,400 is very generous. Honestly, I want to say 1,800 a month. That's what I think she's going to get. Because he's going to show he don't have no money. Now, I understand those other assets are all acquired. But knowing Michael, he's going to do something crazy like, Your Honor, I would like to request below guidelines child support. My ex-wife knows how to work. We on split custody. I think that's what he's going to go for. I already get them this part of the time. She might not even get child support, y'all. Now that I think about it, the more I talk and listen to myself, I don't even think she's going to get child support because he has those kids a lot. Think about it. Oh, I want to come see the kids, and they have an agreement already. That's a setup for joint custody. I'm telling y'all. Part 2, Mia. Girlfriend is living on her savings. Her health care was a rash. Mia and Wendy went toe to toe, but I have to admit, I really do like how Mia handles herself under pressure. I love how she handles herself when people are like clapping back at her. She can hold herself together, and I really do admire that about her. But Mia said, I'm sorry. She said that, she's the CEO of a company. And somehow she got kicked out of the company. The brothers were part owners with her husband, but she was managing director and blah, blah, blah. And I'm not a managing board member and da, da, da. So I'm not a vote. I'm just this, I'm that. And I'm like, first of all, none of this makes sense because what I don't understand is she said that they had her taken off of the bank account. And I'm like, okay, I've had a business bank account before. I know how this stuff works. You have to have a signer on the business account. You're the CEO of a company and you're not a signer on the bank account. That don't even sound right to me. What I think happened was they took their signature off because they were embezzling, as Giselle Bryant said. They were embezzling. And they were like, found out about it and said, you're getting off of the bank account and we're taking this money back. So now they have moved out of Potomac. They have all these rental properties. They were clearly living above their means. She stated that she was making $40,000 a month. So that's like a little bit under $500,000. You're paying all this money to live in Potomac. And then you have 2 more rental properties in Charlotte. Why do you have all these rental properties? And she's saying, oh, because we're by coastal. And Wendy was like, this is the same coast. The way I laughed. Yeah, she said they were by coastal. And she just needs these extra houses. But I'm like, how are you keeping up with your lifestyle? Just typical day-to-day living. The cost of groceries. She has little kids. You know what I mean? Just making sure you have what you need for your Target run. Not all the BS, but just like necessities. She has all these nannies and doing yoga lessons, and her kids probably take lessons in private schools, and the cars, I'm pretty sure they're leasing their cars. But it's like, how do you have money for all of this and you're pulling in $480,000 and you're living like, can't remember how much they're paying in rent, but they paid $60,000 in upgrades to the house. that they will never even own. I think that was the plan. While they were embezzling, they were like, oh, we don't have money. But you see, that didn't work out at all. I am ready for part two, like you will not believe. Because I am ready to get through with this Mia and her BFF because I have some things to say about that. So, yeah, until next week, guys, I'll see y'all later.